इंजेक्शन पर्याप्त है।
सर जी आप 5 मिनट में मर रहे हैं आदमी, देख रहे हो यार, आप 5 मिनट में कम समझ रहे हैं सर, 5 मिनट में।
मैं डॉक्टर परिहार भोपाल से शासन से प्रशासन से हाथ जोड़कर अपील करना चाहूँगा कि ऑक्सीजन की कमी से लोग मर रहे हैं, कृपया ध्यान दें। 8-8 घंटे 9-9 घंटे लाइन में लग के हॉस्पिटल की वैन को एक सिलेंडर मिल रहा है। आप सोचिए 10-10 पेशेंट एक सिलेंडर में कैसे सर्वाइव करेंगे।
मैं 7 दिन से एडमिट हूँ और मुझे डॉक्टर ने रेमडेसिविर इंजेक्शन लिखे हैं। उन्होंने कहा था कि यहाँ हॉस्पिटल में मिल जाएंगे। एक इंजेक्शन तो मिल गया, एक लग गया अभी तक मुझे। पर अभी आज मेरी फैमिली काफ़ी परेशान हो रही है। बाहर भी अवेलेबल नहीं है, काफ़ी लोगों को नहीं लगा है, सब परेशान हो रहे हैं इंजेक्शन के लिए।
वहाँ पर सीनियर डॉक्टर को रहता नहीं, सारे जूनियर डॉक्टर को लोग भेज देते हैं वहाँ पर, और 2-3 दिन से हम लोग ब्लड सैंपल लिखवाने के लिए तो उधर घूम रहे, सोचे इतने को तैयार नहीं
ना। तो एक क्या है कि जो आप बता रहे हैं कि रोजी ने मर रहे हैं, अब मरने से क्या है कि उम्र हो जाती है, उसको तो मरना भी पड़ता है।
अरे पीछे जाओ ना।
There are distressing images right from the start.
In Delhi, the funeral pyres are never extinguished. They bring the bodies in on wooden planks for mass cremation. So many souls released before their time. So many deaths from a virus that many in India had thought was in decline. They've created makeshift crematoria in the centre of Delhi and other cities to deal with the seemingly endless cycle of death. Families are in shock because if the country had been better prepared, if there had been enough oxygen, if politicians hadn't insisted on holding election rallies with no social distancing or masks, those on the pyres might be alive today. And then there's the deaths of 13 people in a COVID ward in Mumbai that caught fire last night. The hospital director said a ball of fire erupted in the ICU and smoke engulfed the ward. They've launched an inquiry. People are desperate. In Lucknow, a young man pleads with his mother as she struggles to breathe. "Nothing will happen to you, mother. Please keep breathing." And he lies down there in the hospital car park in protest and despair because he cannot get her admitted. It's the same story in Delhi. Critically ill patients are arriving at a hospital only to be turned away because the beds are full and there's no oxygen.
I've been everywhere, searching for 2 days for a hospital to get my mother admitted. I've visited all the hospitals in Delhi. They all say the same thing, that beds are not available. Another patient, my son, is at home. So who do I take care of?
My mother needs oxygen. There are no beds available, nor oxygen anywhere in Delhi. I phoned the helpline numbers. They said they don't have any beds. I went to each and every hospital in Delhi. Can you please help me?
Today, Prime Minister Modi held a video conference with chief ministers of the 11 worst affected states. He's finally cancelled election rallies blamed for some of the spread and pledged to facilitate the delivery of oxygen, but he's very late to act. Oxygen manufacturing units have been charged with doubling their capacity and working round the clock. Oxygen intended for industrial purposes is only now being diverted to hospitals. The Indian Air Force is starting to transport oxygen, and bureaucratic obstacles that bar it from crossing state lines have been lifted.
This, as the Delhi government has said that no oxygen stock is left in 6 private hospitals.
But Indian TV is full of stories of those for whom this is all too late, as new variants add to the political failure to act. In much of the country, the health service has collapsed.
We probably, you see, we as a doctor, we as a hospital, we are supposed to give life. If we cannot give them oxygen even, what is the situation? When patient comes to, the patient will die. Patient will die.
As night falls, the funeral pyres keep burning. After the first wave of Covid-19, the Indian government had the opportunity to prepare for a second, but it didn't. This is the result.
The more COVID spreads around the world, of course, the more the virus can mutate. And health experts warn if other countries don't get cases under control, our progress here at home will be threatened. So that's why tonight we're drawing your attention to a dire situation in the world's second most populated country, India. New daily cases have now topped 200,000 for a week straight. That's from India's health ministry. The Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, says the wave of cases is hitting like a storm, and it's pushing deaths to an all-time high. Hospitals across India are overwhelmed, many running dangerously low on supplies, including oxygen. Johns Hopkins reports India has the second most COVID cases in all the world, trailing only the United States. Reporting from inside a hospital in Mumbai, here's our sister network Sky News' Nivelle Lazarus.
India is in the grip of a second wave, a deadlier and fast-spreading one this time around. Young and old, the virus has spared no one. Taking a breath is a struggle. And doctors constantly monitoring every patient. Many just lifeless because of the disease. The Bandra Kurla Complex COVID Center, with over 2,200 beds, is one of the largest facilities for COVID-19 patients. Sky News was given exclusive access. It was set up last year as Mumbai, India's commercial capital, was ravaged by the virus. A year later, a repeat. The city and state is reeling once again with record numbers. The facility is almost full.
In the country, I can vaguely tell you that in last few days or few weeks, there is an upsurge of number of COVID patients, which is labeled as a second wave. We can say the second wave has more virulence than the first wave, but certainly death rate is not that much.
In Ahmedabad, patients attached to oxygen cylinders wait their turn in ambulances parked outside. Hospital beds, ventilators, and even medicines have run short. Family members wait for a refill of oxygen cylinders. That is in short supply even in the national capital, Delhi. As the country struggles to deal with the pandemic in larger cities, the fear is for the poor and vulnerable in rural India, where health facilities are inadequate or almost non-existent.
For the news, I'm Nivelle Lazarus.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.